news keeps coming in as we're talking here.
Yeah, every time I do a screen transition, whenever I do one of those screen transitions, my volume goes down. I don't know. I haven't figured out how to stop it yet, but yeah, whenever. All right, let's do George Floyd update. All right. So let's give a little bit of context here. Oh wait, I'm parched. I had my hair up in a ponytail today, and somebody asked me if I cut my hair, and I was just like, and I didn't have enough time to respond to them. I was gonna say, and they were like, "I'm so happy you cut it off. I don't like it." And then I just cut my head sideways, and they're like, "Oh, it's still there." So now I know you don't like my hair. She gave me a compliment 2 weeks ago. I don't forget compliments, man. I don't forget compliments. So I was hurt. Hey, how you doing? My name's Heero. I'm one person in the booth today, but that's not true because I got 11 people watching with me right now. Shout out to those people for joining me on the booth. Normally Eric's here with me. He's not here today. I'm hurt about this, but I got people with me. Shout out to the people in the booth. Shout out to our booth boss, Nafi. Thank you so much for joining me. How do you become the booth boss? It's a very difficult task. I don't recommend it. It takes extreme strife and endurance and dedication, and it requires engagement. Pretty much that's it. Just type the most in the comment section and you'll win. So if you're up to the challenge, see my sister in the comment booth. What's good? But we have to talk about a few things of importance. So we're going to talk about the George Floyd, recap the incident, where we're at right now, why things seem to be sort of clustered, and just our predictions of what's to come. All right. So for all you guys don't know, George Floyd was murdered in Minneapolis while being stopped at a convenience store for allegedly giving the convenience store person a fake $20 bill. In actuality, the bank, their banker, he called the banker, their manager, and their boss, and explained to them what he thought was a fake $20 bill. The bank acknowledged it and said, if it is fake, we'll cover it through your fraud insurance. That should have been the end of the case. That's where it should have ended. But the company decided to progress and push forward and call the police. Excuse me. When the police arrived, instead of them to just, take the $20 into question and run it through their forgery kit, and it passed and said it's not a forge, they proceeded to continue to harass and just mess with George Floyd. And that is part of their MO. They want to find a way of putting you in handcuffs. They want to find a way of taking your freedoms, even if you have done nothing, because they don't get paid unless you are put in handcuffs. They have to arrest somebody or kill somebody if they are called. That is their objective. That is their MO. That's why I said, unless you want someone to die, you don't call the police. It's just that simple. George Floyd was compliant. He was able to give them information, and it wasn't until they searched his car where they couldn't find any drugs. And the assumption of him being on drugs or intoxication was reason enough for them to detain and hold him for further analysis, because they wanted to take a blood test for him. And once again, they were going to get him to consent to this because he had committed no crime. While he was on his way, he had nothing to do. So that's the gist of it. What ended up happening was, once he was told that he's going to be put in jail because they want to basically do the test out of sight, not on the street, that's when he started to get unruly, because he knew he was being detained and illegally arrested. And from him being inside the police car, a lot of people don't know how he flowed to it. He was first sat outside the building of the convenience store, then brought into the car. And then when he was told that he couldn't leave, that's when he became unruly. He was handcuffed the whole time. He then fell onto the floor outside of the car, and that's where Brett Kavanaugh proceeded to kill him. It took him 8 minutes and 46 seconds. And from that stormed the biggest riots and protests that this country's ever seen on a global effect. Multiple cities burnt down. Multiple targets were hit. You get it? Because they're targets, so they got hit. And we proceeded to put an amount of pressure on this country that the country hasn't seen since the Black Panther Party. Shout out to Fred Hampton. And a lot of people always come and ask me, Heero, are you condoning violence and rioting and looting and burning down of targets and police departments? Yeah. Yes, I am. If I could burn down every single target in the country to avoid one black person from dying at the hands of our government, it's an easy answer. Yeah. Fuck it. If I could save one white person from dying at the hands of our government for an illegal arrest, I'd burn down every goddamn Walmart. And you know I like Walmart because they got the taffy apples that I like. You know I like them taffy apples, but I will burn them all down. It's not a hard decision. So don't miss me with that bullshit. Don't come to me telling me that you're mad about protesters burning shit down. Keep that same energy while you talking to Brett Kavanaugh or whatever the fuck his name is. I enjoy seeing the discord on this, but more importantly, we want to talk about the updates to what's going on. So let's get on that topic, shall we? Let's see where we're at with that, because there are new updates as far as the arrest and what he's being charged with. So let's see what he's being charged with. Let's go to the screen.
Breaking news just in that trial of Derek Chauvin, the former Minneapolis police officer who's been charged with the murder of George Floyd. A judge has just granted the prosecution's request to add a third-degree murder charge against the former officer. He's seen in this video kneeling on Floyd's neck last year. Now, Chauvin already faced a second-degree murder charge and manslaughter charge. Potential jurors are going to return today to continue that selection.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great ABC7 content by clicking the...
Hey, Mark Brown looks like Cleveland. Yo, old Cleveland on the channel. That's what's up. But with this, so that third degree murder, collectively, the second degree charge is the one we want. That's that 40 right there. But more importantly, this will set a precedent stating that just because, like, your intent is actually your actions. When your intent has profound actions, that's what we're kind of looking at here. Because 8 minutes and 46 seconds, if someone is already handcuffed, there's no reason for you to continue to try and add extra restraints. Handcuffs are considered the ultimate restraint. So seeing as how he was already restrained, you actively now putting your body weight on his neck is not necessarily you could have been thinking about anything like, I wonder what I'm going to eat for dinner. But you using your body to enact a level of excessive force that is no longer needed. Yeah, that's what we want. That second degree, baby. I want to see this guy go to jail forever. But 40 years plus, I hope they're not consecutive. I hope they like run parallel, like 40, 15, 20. He has to die in a cell. I'm fine with that. But this, as much as this story, like, as much as, and the thing that's going on here, because I'm really confused about, okay, so I do want the consecutive. Okay, then I do want the consecutive. The thing I want to better understand about this situation is the judge. I'm going to do some research on the judge and better understand what's his beef, because he was prepared to keep pushing the case forward, even though they knew that they were still applying charges. And he said he wouldn't stop with the jury selection until the appeal process happened. And I was just like, but my guy, you know that the world is looking at you right now. So like, I think it wouldn't bother you or harbor you for you to take an additional sense, because the chances of someone not knowing who George Floyd is or what this case is damn near impossible. But the fact that just because the defense and that was the weird part, the defense had no problem saying, no, if they want to add more charges, that's good. We're still going to keep pushing with our selection. But for the judge to then chime in just rubs me the wrong way. Like, what? Why are you so invested in getting this over with? Like, do you have a predetermined answer? I don't know. But that's my perspective on it. And oh wait, no, there's actually another part about it. George Floyd's family got $27 million to have their loved son, father, be choked out for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. We often have that one running joke about, would you slap somebody for $1 billion? And I always look at those people a little bit strange, because I wonder, like, what wouldn't you do for a little bit of money? You mean to tell me a toe tag is worth $27 million? No. And if you guys seen my video on the breakdown of where this money comes from, how this money, $27 million, isn't going to come from the police budget. It's going to come from them selling the 3 to 4 tanks they have in Minneapolis. It's not going to come from the pensions of the officers who are involved in this crime. No. The money's going to come from the taxpayers. New York, LAPD, and I believe Chicago PD make up the amalgamation of the 3 highest pay. Like, they pay the most money per year in lawsuits. They pay not a person, not a business, not Facebook, the fucking police. So it bothers me that they even make this a part of the news cycle. George Floyd's life was priceless. There is no price tag for a human life. It's just like cannon fodder, this type of news. But let's get to some of y'all comments, man. Let's switch up, man. Let's get to y'all comments. What y'all talking about? Oh, okay. Judge did it that way so there wouldn't be any possibility of conflict later that the defense could exploit. And I thought about that, but isn't, like, wouldn't he then just be able to say, I want to expose all your conflicts of interest as far as it comes to being charged? Because, like, there's no such thing as double jeopardy in this situation. Like, it's a whole new charge. So I was just curious to say, why wouldn't he just take the legal precedence to say that versus being all push forward? It just seemed very like, why are you rushing? But great point. Every time I've been selected for jury duty, they immediately say no. And one interesting thing that I found out about jury selection is that more degrees you have, the less likely you are to be picked. So that really bothered me. They don't like picking people who have an educated background. Like, I thought for sure, like, I was excited. I was like, oh, I have a master's degree in forensic pathology. Like, they're going to pick me because I understand the inner workings of, like, the system and how if the chain of command and evidence and shit like that. And I literally said, they looked at my resume and said, and not only the prosecutor, but the fucking defense, they were both like, yeah, they both marked me out at the same time. I was like, but why? They're like, you're too educated. You have too much of an ability. Your presence in the room will intimidate other people because, one, they're either going to want to challenge you because they're not as smart as you, or they're going to just agree with you because you're smarter than them. So it's not their decision. I trust you. But it's super strange. Another interesting fact: if you are the token black person in the group, you should always vote not guilty. There is. It's literally psychology. You're literally there just to prove that it isn't racist and biased, but you subconsciously think, oh, I'm black and I'm here, and all these white people are saying their person's guilty. In order for me to feel like I'm also, because I'm not a bad person, they can see bad. It's such bullshit. Always go not guilty. If they minus. Nah, because even 16% of murder charges are false flags. So yeah, just vote not guilty all the time. Exactly. Okay, so that does make sense. Yes, you're absolutely right, Twisted Texas. Yes, that is true. Solid charges. Absolutely. I'm free. But yeah, that was our story on it. I'm going to try and keep up with this George Floyd story, but right now they're just doing the jury selection, and they're still trying to solidify the charges, which is kind of mind-numbing because you would think that these charges were to be set. And I'm interested to see how they also push these charges on his co-collaborators, the other officers involved. The Asian officer involved, I'm interested to see what if and when his charges start, what's going to happen with him. Because once again, you're an accessory to a crime at that point. Like you're a uniformed officer watching someone commit a crime. Whether you choose to acknowledge that it's a crime or not, by your bylaw and your policies state that it's a crime. So it's just like interesting. I'm very interested to see how that all pans out. But let's push to, what do we want to push to? Oh yeah, let's do a closing. Hey, if you're interested in supporting a great cause, we have the Endurance Challenge, E24. Is it the E24? Yeah, I've been saying E40 a lot because of Tell Me When to Go. But there is a great cause. You can run 24 miles in 24 hours, or you can take my approach and just wake up and join me on the live stream and cheer, support, and donate. It's on. We are official sponsors of this great campaign. So if you're interested, let me get this on the screen. And also let me put this in the description, right? Oh, it's already in the description, but I'll put it in the title for you guys too. I'll put it in the comment section for you guys as well. So you guys can check this out. It's a great cause. Yeah, and that's the thing. It'll connect to your Apple Watch, so you can do it anywhere. You can do it on. You could just leave it on for 24 hours and just track yourself for 24 hours and just see how many steps you get in 24 hours. Like, it's a great cause. Like, if you don't, if you ain't twisted about it, you just get involved and get to it. But if you want to support our channel, like I said, we need to get at least we have not got one subscriber. We haven't got one new sub, none of that. We ain't got none of that. So y'all making it hard for me to open up the phone lines and stuff like that. And we ain't got none. So like, share, subscribe, tell somebody. Let's get these subs up, and you guys take care. We're gonna do the Coming to America, man.
But it's so hard to find through the daily grind, been working overtime. And I'm sleep deprived, shorty on the line, and we fuss and fight. Seems like every night, don't care who's wrong or right. I hope that in the side, slow it down and we can catch the vibe. But it's so hard to find through the daily grind, been working overtime. And I'm sleep deprived, shorty on the line, and we fuss and fight. Seems like every night, don't care who's wrong or right. I hope that in the sight, slow it down and we can catch the vibes.